And this is the main event, the regional final at Davis Diamond. Welcome to Bryan College Station. Rematch of Saturday's thriller, the #1 overall seed Texas A&M. It faces the two-time defending Conference USA champs, the Liberty Flames. Here are the stakes. Double elimination format in this regional round. Yesterday, Liberty stunned the #1 overall seed with that come-from-behind 8-5 victory. So that means A&M.
Kennedy Powell, one of them. Everywhere you turn, they are always on you.
Here we go, underway. The first of what Texas A&M would like to be 2 games today. Liberty and Alena Escobar, their senior ace, are 1 win away from the biggest moment in program history. That would be their first ever super regional. Another warm, sunny day in Bryan College Station. Very impressive numbers for Escobar. Pitcher of the year this season in Conference USA. She's out ahead of, or finds the zone here against Kennedy Powell, so the count's 2 balls and a strike. What do you expect from the right-hander today?
I think for me, whenever I see Escobar and I think of her movement, she has a late breaking rise ball. She'll get a lot of swings and misses.
This is Kennedy Powell's, flares that one to center field. KK Mandry, who hit a giant home run late in the victory yesterday, makes the play.
Going back to Escobar and just the way that she's able to move that rise ball. She's able to have a low rise ball that A&M struggled a lot with. She wasn't getting a ton of bites on that high one. I think that's going to be a game plan going in. You'll see her toss in a curve, but that multiple level rise ball and changeups. We'll see a lot of those today.
So Nicole, she holds Texas A&M to just 5 hits yesterday. Now they scored 5 runs, only 3 of those were earned, so there were a couple of errors committed in the field. This is one of the purest hitters in the nation. Coco Woolley's average now back to 400. Long run for Rachel Crane, no play.
You can feel the energy immediately. Sometimes a double will do the job. Coco Woolley, she knows right now she needs to get on base. This bunt perfectly placed right in no man's land. The kind of speed that she has is closing. They didn't even get to attempt to throw that ball. But you want to run her on base whenever you have arguably one of the best bats in the Aggie lineup, Maya Perez.
She was the breakout star, Nicole, in the SEC this year. Hit better than 400. Now 14 home runs on the season after the blast yesterday. Bona fide all-conference first-teamer. Escobar must be careful with Woolley at first base. Always a threat to go. A couple of steals in their opening round win on Friday, and that's in for a strike.
Escobar really, like I said, it's not about always a swing and miss, but can you disrupt the balance of the hitter? Escobar did a great job against Perez that first matchup. Had great contact, but a lot of fly balls. There's that rise ball.
Perez hits it hard. Great scoop by McManus, trying to go to second. Woolley beats it out. So a couple of first-inning base runners now for the top-seeded Aggies.
In this situation, you have your shortstop covering. You can see where her foot is on the bag, on the back side of the bag, also in the middle. Watley, she needs to come on the front side with the speed of Woolley. Every inch counts.
So Dot Richardson is already out to talk with our home plate umpire. That's Mike Burrell. She has signaled the now universal sign. The hands, you tap the ears. That pretty much should signify she's going to challenge
Liberty
this.
is challenging the call at second base of the runner being safe. That play will be under review.
Well, first off, partner, I was surprised to see Crane go to second. I would have thought she would have ran to the first base bag to get the out. So that's why they're in this position.
I like the idea of being aggressive. I mean, that play, that ball was hit pretty hard. But look at where she's safe, but look at where the slide happened, Woolley happened, whenever she was going into the bag, and where you had Savannah Watley, your shortstop, set up. If she had been on the front side of the bag, she might have gotten that out. That is huge. You know the speed of Coco Woolley. You want to get that out. I don't think that was the wrong idea. I just think Watley was a little late in getting there. And she was almost, it looked like she was setting herself up for a double play versus just going ahead and trying to get the force. With speed, like Woolley, you can't look too far ahead. You need to be sure of at least one out, because now you have runners on first and second and momentum.
It's tough to tell from that vantage point. I thought we saw some pretty clear evidence right here that this foot gets in.
Yeah, right there, the foot's in, and then right after the ball goes in.
Yeah, nothing conclusive.
The ruling on the field has been upheld. The runner is safe at second base.
And so, Nicole, this is...
Charge conference.
Yep, that's a double whammy for Liberty. So not only will runners be at first and second, you only get 2 challenges in this game. Dot Richardson has lost one in the first inning. That was an unsuccessful challenge. Here comes the 6th-year senior from Long Beach, California. Turned in a fantastic first season with the Aggies. She was a premier slugger at San Diego State the last couple of years. What an X-factor she was in the portal. 1-0 to Barber, that's popped up. This one's near the dugout, and Crane makes the play for the second out.
Talked about changing looks, changing levels. Liberty knows Texas A&M, not only have they seen Escobar, but they've gone back on that game. They've watched film, they've seen the footage. You cannot have quite the same game plan. There has to be some surprises. Going low in the zone with a hitter like Mac Barbara, getting her to pop up, that is big.
No hotter bat in the Aggie order than Amari Harper. 6 out of 9 this weekend, has knocked in 11 runs. Partner, we're in the first inning. You can feel there is a tenseness in the air. There's some drama here. The 0-1 pitch is high. Runners on for the Aggies, who are the visiting team for this first game, with Liberty having the upper hand in the regional. So 1-1 to the junior. Big swing and a miss. And so Escobar, who has turned in 2 quality outings this weekend in wins against Marist and Texas A&M. 1 strike away from a scoreless top half of the first. That's fouled away.
I'm noticing Escobar, she's thrown a lot of innings the past 2 weekends. In her conference tournament, threw almost over 300 pitches. This tournament already, she has been the main ace. She has been one holding the ball. Getting those corners, that's going to be key.
Harper takes a called 3rd strike. Inning is over. And so Escobar strands a pair. Liberty hits for the first time. Anna Woodard, the veteran, and she lines that one foul. What's this start like for Kennedy 1 day after facing this team?
I've seen a lot of growth from her throughout her career at Texas A&M. We've seen her have, as a youngster, have those innings where something happens and you'll see her fall apart. She'll have those oopsie innings. As she's gotten older, she responds not only with those innings, but after a loss. Almost got us up here in the booth.
That would have been the first foul ball.
I'll be honest, I wasn't ready. I was going to say I wasn't. But
I lost track of everything you were saying for those second and a half there. I was ready. 1-2, that's away.
Lefty, please. But with Kennedy, she hasn't lost, and then in her next appearance, faced another loss. She's immediately responded, and I think it's worth noting.
Now this is Woodard, serves this one to deep strike center field. It's a first inning solo shot for Savannah Woodard. Liberty sets the tone.
Liberty has not come to play around. Texas A&M, they put some pressure in the top of the first. It was felt in this stadium. What better response than to come up your very first batter? A hard hit home run out in center field. Almost hit the pool guys out there. But a statement right there, as Dot Richardson said. We tasted the appetizer, we want the entree.
Kennedy allowed 2 homers to this Liberty team yesterday, and she allows the leadoff homer to Woodard today. Gets ahead of Rachel Roop. This is the player of the year in the conference. You see the really eye-popping numbers this season for the senior from Sharpsburg, Maryland. This Liberty batting order, everybody has contributed in each of their first 2 games. Roop drills one deep to right, and there's enough yard for Mathis. So 1 gone, and a couple of hard hit balls for the Flames in the first inning.
Whenever you see hitters back to back, I mean, just absolutely rip. As a pitching coach, it's not a reason to panic. Again, you're in the first inning. Emily Kennedy, one of the best pitchers in the country, but you do know they're on to your plan. It's time to mix things up.
This is Bryn McManus, hits one sharply over to Woolley. So a couple of outs now for Kennedy, who is the program veteran, back-to-back 20-win seasons for the senior from the Woodlands, Texas. Last year an All-American, posted a sub-2 ERA. This season was very solid as well. Another all-conference season for Kennedy. Someone who has a whole lot of Tricia Ford's trust. These two have been together for 3 years now.
I think it's true, not just of her, but a lot of the seniors that Ford has. She's in her 3rd year here at Texas A&M, but she's built a lot of trust. She's established a system.
1-0 pitch right back to the circle. Liberty is on top after 1. Savannah Woodard's 10th home run of the season.
It's culture. We want to build a culture. She's done that with her seniors. But what better way to show culture than whenever your back's against the wall, your season is on the line, and your team steps up. We did a good job in that first half of the inning. They weren't able to convert, but just putting pressure on Liberty.
Had a couple of runners on, but to your point, left them both stranded. 6, 7, and 8 due up against Elena Escobar. KK DeMint has turned in a fabulous freshman season. She's been on base 8 times in her 10 plate appearances, and add another trip. Trying to stretch it to 2. It's a leadoff double for KK DeMint.
That is something that we have seen all throughout this regional. This ground, this field, it plays hard over the head of Rachel Crane. She's not able to get a glove on that. But whenever you read that as a runner, you see it down the line, gets over the head of your 3rd baseman. It's almost, you treat it like a slap. All right, that's an automatic 2. I have to push that.
5 hits now for DeMint. And here comes one of the program vets. That's Allie Enright, the senior. Nicole, it is hot, it is warm. We've seen that high chop, to your point. Enright pops it up, shallow left, and Dorr calls off Watley. There's 1 away. I got it at 89 degrees here, first pitch. That's actually pretty balmy relative to what we have seen the last couple of days. Temperatures have been in the mid-90s. Last couple of days, temperature feels like it's around 97 right now. This will be Frankie Vrajel, who hits against Escobar in the 8-hole now. Fouls it back, so the count evens. Texas A&M has been in this position before this season. So 4 times they played the true doubleheader. 2 games in 1 day. There's a swing and a base hit into left. Stop sign at 3rd. Runners at the corners. Well, point being, They have swept the 4 other doubleheaders they have played this season. They're going to have to turn this into a doubleheader. Down a run here in the first, make it the second, but they've got a couple of runners on.
Texas A&M, they're picking up where they left off back in the first. They're being able to just get solid hits. That's what Liberty did against them just yesterday. Have those solid pass-the-bat hits, not trying to overswing.
Runner from first takes off. And so 2 are in scoring position with 1 away. A&M could potentially swing in front here with a base hit. This is in the air out to right. Runner ready to tag. Roop makes the catch. Throw to the plate. Double play. Liberty gets it done. And the inning is over. What a throw from the player of the year in right field. Rachel Roop is saying, "Hey, you like me now?"
I mean, this is textbook coming in, getting this throw, and what a tag over at home from Savannah Jessie. Liberty says, not today, not right now. We're going to keep this momentum in our dugout. Thank you very much. 1-0 Liberty. Just off of her, she said, big struggle for her was confidence. How do I learn how to be confident? I feel like that's something that a lot of athletes, that is the key question. And she goes, I realize I don't even have to focus on being confident or not confident. All I had to do was focus on being in the moment, being here where my feet are. She said the pressure's off.
Draws the leadoff walk. The career season for Madry. It continues. She'd love it to continue into next weekend. You know, Nicole, we could feel that strong bond amongst the players, strong cultures for both of these programs when we met with both teams the other day. Paige Dorr, flash the bunt, throw down to second. Madry is out. Mac Barbara throws out Madry. Dot Richardson, remember, she's only got 1 challenge left. She's already signaling.
This challenge, I think that hand gets in. The way that Madry goes in face first, she's able to move her hand around. That tag is applied up by the armpit. I think that hand gets in there. Mac Barbara, she is fired up, but this one, and this is where it becomes difficult. Dot Richardson just used her second replay, and we're in the second inning.
She's got to get this if she wants to retain it the rest of the way. And with Liberty already ahead 1-0, it's already a big moment.
So even if she gets this one, they won't get another chance to replay. So you really hope that she's able to get it. But I think right here, the hand reaches in and then the tag is applied. I think the tag actually misses on the ground and it's applied to the chest.
I think the left hand gets in here as well. Right there.
Yeah, and you can see the helmet, it's out of the way. The arm, it's off to the side. That is one of the big perks of being able to slide in head first. You're able to maneuver your body around. Your head can move out of the way. Your arm can move out of the way. Doesn't matter if the ball beats you, just as long as you're able to avoid the tag.
Boy, that is really close. Remember, the call on the field is out. So the replay center in Pittsburgh, they've got to have something right there that they would label definitive, that definitively shows that left hand is in a fraction ahead of the tag.
You know, KK Madry talked about how they had a couple of team bonding activities. One of them was dancing. maybe those dance moves helped her out a little bit whenever she was sliding in. Just kind of slide to the left, slide to the right, you know, one of those.
Dynamic in a lot of ways. This is a big ruling early in this game.
The ruling on the field has been changed. The runner is declared safe. That is Liberty's second challenge.
Liberty's got the runner in scoring position now. Trying to apply some pressure early.
And this is huge. You want to carry that momentum on. But like we just heard, that's a second challenge used by head coach Dot. Not able to use it until later on.
First pitch swinging, Page Door bounces it to Demet. She mishandles it. Madry scores. And so the challenge pays off. One pitch later, Page Door, one of their clutch hitters, knocks in another Liberty run.
These two teams are going up to each other. They are going back and forth. This one, it's just a hard hit ball. That one, I think Demet, whenever she was going to field that, might have wanted to switch over, turn that into a backhand. Her body wasn't able to get in front of that ball in time. Off the glove, and whenever you have that speed from KK Madry, you have to make those clean plays. Clean defense has been the downfall of a lot of teams here in this regional.
It's 2-0 Liberty. Nobody out here in this second. This is Rachel Crane, who's hitless this weekend. Redshirt sophomore from Jonesboro, Tennessee. Brett Higgins over at first base says that she did not offer. By the way, you just heard from Mike Burrell. That's our home plate umpire. Higgins over at first. Ron White, the second base umpire. And Garrett Knowles is at third.
And I think this is where your team relies on Emily Kennedy. The maturity that she's been able to grow into, the experience.
It's the 152nd appearance in the circle of her career. The senior from right here in Texas. She has been ultra dependable. Last season, the All-American. 3-1 pitch to Crane, cut at and missed. She's only got a handful of losses this year, and to your point from previously, 2-0 after her losses this season. But that is the second walk of the inning. So all three Liberty hitters have reached. And what's Trisha Ford going to do here?
Looks like a pitching change.
Wow.
This is it. This is the end of your season, and as good as Emily Kennedy is, this hasn't been her best outing. Couple of walks, couple of hard hits. You can tell the game plan is on for Liberty whenever Kennedy is throwing the ball. There is no second guessing. It is on time. There are no surprises. Haven't seen too many swings and misses. And if you're Texas A&M, you want to continue your season, you have no chance. And I like this change here. It's going to be a big mix-up speed-wise, but Texas A&M fighting to keep their season alive.
Peters in, Kennedy out. due to a back injury. You see, she pitched the other day on Friday. This is a massive early move in this game.
She has not a ton of innings behind her, so that means her scout not is going to be as current as probably Kennedy's, but Sydney Peters, she has high spin, high velocity. She's going to go to that rise ball, going to feel like she's overpowering by the way she drives off the mound. By the time her hand releases the ball, she's at the front of that circle. Or then her changeup, it is devastating. It is so deceptive. I think that was a quick reset on the pitch clock.
Liberty advances to its first ever Super Regional with 1 win today. Savannah Jessie looked like she did offer at that pitch. Yes, she did. So the count's quickly 0-1. Liberty has the upper hand after it beat the #1 overall seed yesterday in this double elimination format regional round. So Texas A&M has got to beat Liberty twice today to get back to the Supers. And the Flames have set the tone early with a first inning run. Paige Dorr just knocked in the second. After the Rachel Crane walk, Peters comes in. Jessie takes a strike on the inside edge.
I'll tell you what, as comfortable as Liberty looked in that box, we're seeing Savannah Jessie. It just looks like she's second guessing on that first bunt, on that hard pitch on the inside half.
Launches the 1-2 down the line. Long run for Mathis. She's got it for the first out. So Jessie is retired. The 9-hitter is Savannah Watley. Watley's been productive. 3 for 6 at the plate this regional. Newcomer of the year in Conference USA. He's previously at Oregon State, pitched the portal, and has been a very productive bat in this Liberty order. That's off the outside edge, so she's got a favorable count. So while it has been a return for Peters, it has very much been a return to the diamond for Watley, who missed a couple of weeks. She's dealt with several different injuries, and her appearance on Friday against Marist was her first in more than 2 weeks. So she steps right back in and has been very effective at the plate. Liberty trying to do some more damage in the second. 2-1, and Watley spoils that one foul. Peters, first year at the program, Nicole. She put up some really impressive numbers early on. Had a complete game win against Princeton earlier in the season, pitched well against a couple of SEC programs, but then missed almost 2 months with a back injury. 2-2 down the line, but it's foul.
Watley's starting to move through the box a little bit. She's been standing in pretty much every at-bat so far this regional. But whenever you have speed like Peters and you're trying to make that adjustment on the fly, sometimes you go to the slap.
So where's Peters going here? 2-2 pitch coming. That's popped up, shallow left. Mathis has got it. 2 away. So Peters has retired the first 2 hitters she's faced. 7 innings live is going to take you around to the best live action the rest of today as our regional finals unfold. Don't miss a minute of the action. You can catch it all, every big moment, on the road to the Women's College World Series, only on the ESPN networks. Texas A&M not the only national seed that's got to win twice today. There are several. Savannah Woodard back in the box. Led off in the first with her 10th home run of the season. You see what she has done. 5 of 9 at the plate in this regional. Talk about a way, Nicole, to set the tone.
I mean, Savannah Woodard, there was no doubt about it, no question from her whenever she stepped into the box that first at bat. But the second one, Cindy Peters, she has been dominant since she has stepped in. Aggressive, attacking. You can almost feel these Liberty hitters walking on their heels a little bit. But she's patient. You have to pitch around her. You can't give her too much to hit. She's proven that already. 3-0 here.
That's off the outside edge, so it's a 4-pitch walk. Barbara didn't like the call. Bases are loaded now for Rachel Roop. And Nicole, you know all about that. Remember, yesterday Liberty scores 8 runs, all of them earned against Emily Kennedy, 11 hits as well. And they were on her just about one time through the order. So as a hitter, can work both ways. If you're facing a pitcher that's dealing, you're dying to see somebody else. On the flip side, even just seeing just that subtle change,
I mean, that's
can
a
maybe throw you off.
Huge win from Liberty, chasing out Emily Kennedy in the 2nd inning. The more arms that you run through, the more success it says you're having.
Bases are loaded. Conference USA Player of the Year on the right side. Takes that right down the middle for a strike. Rachel Roop in her senior season, she's thrived. Flew out to right her first time up. Drills this one. It's got some carry. There it goes! A grand slam! The Flames, red hot start. Who saw this coming?
I'll tell you, Liberty, they believed in themselves. This has been a long time coming for them. And this pitch over the heart of the plate, the 2nd strike in a row, that shows a lot of white. You see it once, you don't swing, you regret it. But a hitter like Rachel Roop, you throw it to her 2nd time, 2 outs, bases loaded. She does what she does best. She's a gamer. Grand slam.
That is humongous. Bryn McManus, number 3 hitter in the order, takes that pitch a little high. And that is officially, we're still early in this bout, but that is a staggering knockdown here early in this regional final. It's now a 5-run top half of the 6th inning. Dorr scored the first run with the RBI single, and after several walks, Rachel Roop clears the bases. That one's in for a strike.
Seen a lot of chaos happening around the country with all the games. LSU not even making it to the regional final. That's just one example, but there are a lot of games out there going on where great softball is being played. And that softball doesn't know ranking. It doesn't know who's supposed to win. It doesn't know who's hosting. It just knows the gamers. And right now, Liberty, they are gamers. They're saying, bring it on. I want it.
This one's hit high down the line, but twisting foul. Mathis going to run out of space. And Nicole, it's a great point you bring up. If you're looking at it from the outside looking in, of course, this is a pretty stunning looking score, at least a couple innings in. However, Dot Richardson, there she is. She said, we asked her, is this your strongest team? She goes, oh yeah.
Oh
this is
yeah.
the best team that I've coached in my 12 years here. And there's another walk. That is now the 4th walk in the inning that Liberty has drawn. 2 off of Kennedy previously. And now Peters, after retiring 2 hitters, she walked Woodard, allowed the grand slam to Roop. And the 9th hitter is coming to the plate in the bottom of the 2nd inning for Liberty. This is Alyssa Henall. It's an uneasy position to be in if you are Texas A&M, the #1 overall seed. The 1 seed has never failed to make it out of the regionals since we went to this tournament format in 2005. And that one runs tight to Hennold, so she's making a case that that pitch grazed her elbow guard. There she goes.
Mike Barber shaking her head no, that didn't touch her at all. Feels like things are compounding a little bit for the Aggies. I don't know about that one. Trisha Ford chatting with the umpire.
Yeah, Mike Burrell didn't signal it immediately.
I didn't see it, and I think Trisha Ford is just asking the umpires, hey, you see it? It's review.
Texas A&M is challenging the ruling on the field of a hit by pitch.
We're only 2 innings in. This is our 3rd challenge, by the way.
You never
we may
see
exhaust them all, yeah, in the early innings.
in the early innings, and I think this is right to challenge this. I don't think it hit her. I didn't see the ball, the direction change. Typically, whenever there's a hit by pitch, you'll see the path of the ball change. To me, it stayed the same. If anything, it would have gone farther over the plate versus more towards the batter if it had hit her elbow guard. To me, I don't see anything.
I didn't think it hit her at first glance. This is really tough. This is like when you go to replay review a foul ball, or is it a pitch off the hands? When you start to slow it down like this, it's very difficult to tell. Mike Burrell did not signal it immediately.
Yeah, and I do think there is a point. If, as a hitter, you feel it, ask the umpire, hey,
Sure.
I think that hit me. Take your base. And if the team wants to, if you get it, great. And if the team wants to challenge. But from there, like, I'm not saying, oh my gosh, not even close. Blue that hit me, lean into it. But if you feel like it did, let them know.
It's a clever move from the senior. I don't know if there's anything that just shows it definitively here. And again, the call on the field is hit by pitch, so that is very important in this situation.
The ruling on the field of hit by pitch is upheld. The runner is awarded first base.
So you got 2 runners on.
First challenge.
And I still think this was a good challenge by Trisha Ford. There has to be enough, and I think this is where that call gets upheld. There has to be enough evidence to overturn the current call. And like you said, it gets very minute, it gets very particular, very narrow, and then from there, you go.
Nicole Trisha Ford's going to make another pitching change. In a regional final, that is an elimination game if you're Texas A&M. It's got to win it to keep its season alive. It is now making a 2nd pitching change this inning. And for the first time this weekend, we are going to see Kate Munnerlyn.
I think this is, again, season on the line. You don't want things to get too carried away from you. I think Peters did a good job coming in, getting 2 quick outs, but right after that, you had a walk, you had a grand slam, you had another walk, you had a hit by pitch. As a coach, you can't let that carry on. You need to get out of this inning. You're only in the 2nd, and we've seen what the bats of the Aggie offense is capable of doing. But right now, you don't want that score to feel like it's too far away, too far out of reach. You want to get that last out, get your team back into the dugout. There's a short leash.
We'll say it again. No #1 national seed has failed to advance out of the regional round in 20 years. That is since we went to this tournament format in 2005. That is looming, hanging over Texas A&M all day today. And what an auspicious start for the Flames. They have forced 2 pitching changes here in the 2nd inning. They've officially batted around. KK Madry is about to step into the box for the 2nd time this inning. Liberty hitters have drawn 4 walks. 1 batter has been hit. They got a single, and then the Rachel Roof grand slam to straightaway center. That has busted this one open immediately here. 6-0 the score. Munnerlyn, she's the freshman from Los Gatos, California. Fairly limited action, faces Madry. And she is in the circle now for the first time since facing Tennessee back on May 2nd. So it has been a minute. They appealed down to the third base umpire, and they ruled that Madry did not offer at that pitch. So a 1-0 coming now. That's in for a strike. Madry drew that walk. You see the dirt on the uniform. She stole a base earlier in the frame. This one kicks away from Barbara, and he got 2 in scoring position. Boy, this has been an eventful bottom of the 2nd inning.
Madry, you look back at the second review that Doc Richardson did. We're talking, man, it's early in the game to be getting a review call.
Oh, that hits Madry. That caught her on that inside leg. And the bases will be loaded for the 2nd time this inning.
Aggies, the pitching staff for the Aggies, they have been struggling to find that strike zone. I will say it is a tight strike zone, but you cannot be missing 3-4 inches off the plate. And this one, it's too far in the inside, hits Madry on that back leg right above the knee. I can say from experience, that spot is tender. She's gonna be okay, but there's gonna be a pretty ugly bruise within a day or 2.
Munnerlyn waits to face Paige Dorr. Nicole, you've got the #1 seed here, down 6-0. It has been difficult to get out of this 2nd inning. Fair to say Liberty has got a little bit of a mental edge right now.
If you're Liberty and you're on this side, you have 2 outs, you've managed to get bases loaded again. If you are able to get 1 more run across, 1 more run, that is suffocating. That is momentum, just staying in your dugout. You scored a run off of every single pitcher that's coming. That is your goal, that is your intention. And if you're A&M, get this out, chip away. Your offense is good enough, you can chip away.
That's on the ground, over to first, inning is over. A big moment for... And we start the top of the 3rd with the top of the order. Kennedy Powell fouls that bunt attempt off. She faces Elena Escobar once again. It has been an eventful afternoon in Bryan College Station. It has been an eventful weekend, as it typically is around the nation in this round. Rolled over to Woodard, 1 quick out. Coco Woolley to hit next.
One thing that Liberty has done so well, Kennedy Powell, she gets a lot of things going for the Aggie offense. You get her, you get Coco Woolley 1-2 back-to-back. Whenever Kennedy Powell scores, Texas A&M is 35-5.
Into shallow left, here comes Dorr. Trapped it, could not make a play, and Woolley is at second. So A&M has a runner in scoring position for a 3rd straight inning.
Coco Woolley doing what Coco Woolley does best. This is just a choke and hold. She saw and read her defense. Infield in. You had Paige Dorr a little bit steeper out in the outfield, giving her some space. If you're able as a slapper to finesse that over the head of the shortstop, that is gold. And you get the outfielder to die for it, automatic double.
Very dangerous hitter on Perez. Lifts this one deep to center. Woolley ready to tag. Madry makes the catch. Throw is late to 3rd. So there are 2 outs for Liberty, but A&M has the runner at 3rd base. Mac Barbara is coming up. Boy, Perez, she has been... How many times have we seen that? Just underneath so many pitches this weekend. She's now 2 of 10 at the plate. Mac Barbara knocked in 5 runs in the win yesterday against Marist. Puts it through the left side, a base hit. Texas A&M is on the board in the 3rd.
And this is what A&M is going to have to do to be able to come back. We're still early in this game. The score feels like otherwise. There's been a lot of things going on, but Mac Barbara reads this shift perfectly. This is low and away on that corner. Savannah Watley is cheated up the middle a few steps, and there is no opportunity to make a play on that, and she is fired up right now. That's what she's saying to her team. One hit at a time. Can you pass a bat? One hitter, one hitter, one hitter. That is what A&M, their mindset is going to have to be.
Texas A&M only had 5 hits yesterday against Elena Escobar, and they've got 5 hits here through a little more than 2 innings. Now Amari Harper swings and lifts it. Medium left. Doors got it lined up. A&M gets one. They needed something to go their way. Liberty still in front, middle of the 3rd. Today, that is very much part of the discussion as to how these Bryan-College Station and Eugene regionals shake out this afternoon and evening.
I mean, there's a lot of chaos going on around the country. This is just one of those super regional matchups at the top and bottom both happen to be in this situation, and it is very precarious.
What is the mindset you've got to have? Take me inside that Texas A&M clubhouse. You know, we talked to Maya Perez. She said yesterday after their win against Marist, said we were ready, we're hungry, but what do you think the last 16, 18 hours have been like for A&M as it knows the stakes and what's on the line today?
I think there's a rush of an emotional roller coaster going on. They won, they lost, they won again in big fashion, and whenever you have those big time games, they scored a lot of runs. Whenever that happens, it's up and down. Being able to come back and keep that energy the same and consistent, I think that is what A&M is struggling with.
So we've got a little bit of a confusing sequence right here. There's some confusion as to who has just substituted in behind the plate for Mac Barbara. And that is what Tricia Ford is sorting out with our home plate umpire, Mike Burrell. Dee Dee Baldwin has got the gear on right now. Grayson Coleman has also caught a whole bunch of games this year. This is the old switcheroo, so it looked like it was going to be Baldwin, but this is Coleman.
Looks like Tricia Ford is still confused.
Well, if Ford is confused, then I feel a little bit better. Did the wrong catcher put the gear on and come out? We have seen Ford make this a defensive substitution in every game of the regional. She has started the game with Barber behind the plate and then typically makes the defensive substitution.
So we don't see Mac Barbara right behind closing that gate. That is their trainer for Texas A&M. I don't know, but I would assume if you're going to take Mac Barbara out, your trainer's out there on the field, there may be something going on. But to make this switch, make this flip, again, Texas A&M, they're gonna have to scratch and claw their way back. They were able to get a run across the board. They want to put every possible opportunity, whether it's Mac Barbara hitting, she got that RBI, or then somebody else behind the plate. Mac Barbara, she's not a true catcher. Stepped up, she has done a phenomenal job.
Yes. Especially down the stretch of the season in the most critical of times. They close out the season with a series win against Tennessee, then emphatic victories against South Carolina and Texas in the SEC tournament before the championship game was rained out. Rachel Crane strikes this one deep to center, and Allie Enright runs it down. So Kate Munnerlyn has faced 3 hitters. She's retired 2 and hit 1. She is the 3rd pitcher that Trisha Ford has used. Liberty chased the All-American from a year ago, Emily Kennedy, in the 2nd inning. Just about everybody she faced was able to reach. She gave up a homer. And so A&M is improvising, if you will, the rest of this one. Down 6-1 in a game in which, if it loses, their season is over in the regional round. Savannah Jesse waiting on a 1-0 now from the freshman Munnerlyn. That's there for a strike.
Nice off speed, just tossed in, disrupting the timing, and I think that's what we didn't see from the first 2 pitchers. We didn't see a lot of off speed, especially whenever you're on the scouting report. These hitters are familiar with you already. What can I do that feels unpredictable, out of sequence from what they're expecting?
It's now a favorable count for Jesse, who turned in an all-conference season this year. And she has been really strong defensively behind the plate. She's got a strong arm. She's thrown out a whole bunch of runners this year. Redshirt sophomore from Jonesboro, Tennessee. Waits on that 3-1 with the changeup. Fools her. Powell across her body. 2 gone.
Powell get a good jump, good read on that one. Letting her momentum, carrying her over, but also knowing you don't have to overthrow that to put that ball. It's a quick 1-2. This has been the most efficient inning so far for Texas A&M.
Watley first pitch swinging. That is a 1-2-3 inning for Kate Munnerlyn. Still a 6-1 advantage for Liberty. Whole lot to discuss with the head coach Trisha Ford. She joins us next. Ford has orchestrated this Aggie resurgence. #1 overall seed for the program, first time ever. This program had a couple of so-so years before she took over. Seasons where they were finishing below 500 in league play. And they have changed that. Here's a big swing. KK DeMent hits the scoreboard. Solo homer. The rookie goes yard for a 2nd straight game.
KK DeMent, the rookie. She's got the bubbles going here in Texas A&M Davis-Diamond Stadium. In this pitch, over the middle, elevated. Trisha Ford was just talking about how this offense needs to be aggressive against a pitcher like Elena Escobar. And whenever she leaves those balls over the middle of the plate, a hitter like KK DeMent, she's going to attack. That has been their MO. They have been swinging early in counts.
Every time Texas A&M scores, they blast the bubble machines. And so now they're getting a little use out of them here the last couple of innings. 15 home runs in this freshman season for the Selma, California native, KK DeMent. This is Allie Enright. That's fouled back to the screen, so she must protect with 2 strikes. DeMent, such high upside. You would think in her career, the rest of the way with the Aggies, that misses outside. And a 2-for-2 start for DeMent, by the way. Escobar, the senior from outside of Nashville. Misfires that time badly, high and away, so the count evens. 4th inning of work for Escobar. She has won the last 5 games she's pitched in. 2-2 is hammered, but that's yanked foul. And so a couple of these A&M hitters are seeing it pretty good here, second time through the order.
And if you're A&M, the mindset, we talked about this last inning, in this dugout is chip away. We have a lot of game left. We know who we are. One run at a time.
Slow tap to the left side. Enright beats it out in a wide throw. Enright going to second. A&M's got another runner in scoring position.
That one right there, I think it's just depth positioning. Just a little bit of miscue between Rachel Crane, the third baseman, and Savannah Watley. She was cheated deep up the middle. It's a slow roller towards shortstop, and you could see Crane trying to get into that position early. Rushes a throw, an overthrow. Texas A&M, they are right back in it. They still have a ways to go, but we're only in the fourth inning. And Liberty, I feel like for the first time all game, they're feeling the pressure, not just from the offense, but from this crowd as well. But if you're Liberty in this circle right now, you can see Dot Richardson. She's talking to her team, talking to her defense. The conversation is centered around that happened. How quickly can we let it go? Here's our situation. Here's where we go. Let's move on. We knew that this was going to be a fight. Better be ready. And I mean, 17 comeback games this season from Texas A&M. They are fighters. They're used to doubleheaders.
Frankie Vrajel gets jammed, and there's one out. That's the first here in the fourth. Boy, for the first time since the opening inning, there was a little life and intensity at this stadium. Kelsey Mathis, 9-hitter, to step in for the second time. She flew out to Rachel Roop back in the second. That started the double play. Roop threw out a runner at the plate. And that was a hit for Enright. I thought she was going to beat out that throw anyway, so it's a hit and an error on the third baseman, Rachel Crane. Just about every Aggie hitter has put the ball into play today against Escobar. She's only got the one strikeout. Now the count's 2 balls and a strike. Escobar, though, has not walked anybody. She's got a very good strikeout to walk rates, top 25 in the nation. But she's facing a top 20 offense here for the second time in 2 days. That's in the air out to right. Roop's got it. And Enright is not going to test her arm this time.
It's worth noting that the 2 players who haven't gotten on base, not put the ball in play, but haven't gotten on base, Kennedy Powell and Amari Harper, 2 big bats for Texas A&M.
Powell takes that for a strike. Powell was moved to the leadoff spot in late March. She has really excelled. Lines this one into left. Dorr scoops it up, misplays it. A&M scores another run. Powell puts it into play and gets it done.
This is where Texas A&M is dangerous. You give them an inch, you let them get their foot inside the door, and they are going to bust it wide open. Powell does a nice job keeping her hands high, insiding out this inside elevated pitch from Escobar. She knows Enright, the speed that she has, being able to be on second. clean defense right now is going to be key for Liberty. We had the miscue throw. We had Paige George just on that play. Bobble it off her glove. And now you have Kennedy Powell again and Coco Woolley up to bat.
Woolley bounces it, back up the middle, backhanded stop by Woodard, throw is late, here's a play at the plate, runner is safe! Woolley trying to get to second, and we have got, by the way, the signal of an obstruction call. Right now, the run has scored. Liberty is out of challenges, so it's a 6-4 game. Runner was safe at second, so that is going to nullify the obstruction call anyway. On a bouncing ball to second, Liberty gets, or pardon me, A&M gets a run. They're within 2.
And it looked like McManus was not expecting that run to come around.
And now you got the heavy hitter. This is Maya Perez.
Well, remember what I said earlier. Whenever Kennedy Powell scores, A&M is 35-5. Whenever she scores more than once, they're 18-1. Softball's all about momentum. A&M, they went from being down 6-1. They're back in this game. This is a 6-4 ball game. And a heavy hitter with one swing, she could tie this back up.
Perez splash it. There it goes. Goodbye. We're tied.
Maya Perez, an absolute blast. Elena Escobar has been throwing a phenomenal regional, but whenever you throw that often to these same hitters, they know what to expect. This is the pitch that has been getting Elena Escobar time and time again on Maya Perez. Maya Perez has been popping up so close. That barrel on that swing, so flat. Through the ball, the extension. How sweet is this home run to tie up this ball game? And this crowd, they are right in the middle of it. Your Liberty, there has to be some action in the pen. There have been too many hard hit balls back to back to back. We talked about Escobar, how deep into this regional she's gone. A lot of innings logged last weekend in their conference tournament. Texas A&M, their hitters are great at making adjustments. They are familiar with this pitcher.
Mac Barbara with the bases empty and a brand new ball game. Knotted up at 6. Most of these runs scoring with 2 outs.
Just a deep breath there from Barbara. Resetting, lowering that heart rate, and allowing herself making very quick decisions.
Swinging on 3-0, that's fouled back. Barbara waits on it, drills it, it's gone! A scoreboard shot! A&M on a rampage in the 4th. They've swung in front just like that.
It is bubble mania here at Davis Diamond. Getting it up here in the booth. There's so many. This happened last night. Maya Perez and Mac Barber went back to back. What happens today? Maya Perez, home run to tie it up. Mac Barber, the home run off the scoreboard to put Texas A&M up 7-6. What a comeback. They're the #1 ranked team for a reason.
Pitching change at Davis Diamond. A&M is up. Run, top of the 4th. New pitcher is in the circle for Liberty. For just the 2nd time this weekend, this is Paige Bachman. Very reliable 6th-year senior.
Paige Bachman, I mean, we're going to see a lot of innings out of her, 108 and a third. But living up to this standard that Liberty has established for themselves this season. What a way to come in. A lot of momentum in that Aggie dugout. You have one of the most lethal hitters, the only one in this Aggie lineup that has not gotten on base today.
Surprisingly.
Surprisingly.
0-2 to Harper, that's down the line. Long run for Dorr, dives, makes a great catch. So the inning is over, but the Aggies have changed the complexion of this one. They erase a 6-run deficit, score 5 in the top of the 4th. We're halfway through, A&M leads. Tested, you have been in games like this before. We just saw your squad huddle up after that 5-run top half of the 4th inning. What's critical here for your team to just recover and get the job done today?
Well, it's actually 6, but who's counting? What a great game. I mean, it's a 1-run ball game right now. We have to respond to stop this momentum that's happening on their end. You know, you just can't make mistakes. We've made a couple, but I tell you, we're a great squad. We're fun to watch. It's awesome to coach this team, and I'm excited about what we can do to come back.
Coach, offensively, off of Emily Kennedy, chased her out of the game. Sydney Peters chased her after the game. You're now on your 3rd pitcher. Have you planned for this? What is the game plan going and getting yet another pitcher, hopefully, for y'all?
Yeah,
get out of the game?
Well, this pitcher, you know, she does a lot of off speeds, and she'll come hard, off, hard. You know, so it's just a matter of time for our hitters to adjust, and hopefully we can take her out of the game and win this ball game.
Coach, good luck today. We appreciate the time.
Thanks so much. God bless everyone watching, and go Flames, and go God.
Liberty's got to respond now, and Coach was right. My math was off there by 1 run. That was the 6-run top half of the 4th inning. After Liberty built a 6-0 advantage, A&M scores 1 in the 3rd, and then 6 in the top half of the 4th. The Flames have their top of the order due up here against Kate Munnerlyn. Woodard and Roop have both gone deep. And then McManus expected to hit 3rd in the inning.
With Munnerlyn, we've seen her go in tight to these lefty Liberty hitters. Kind of expecting game plan here. Either sitting hard or sitting soft. That's what we just saw. The hard sequence, hard in, and then right off of that, right away on that same plane, off speed. As a hitter, it can be so deceptive. You have to choose one. If you try to sit in between, you're going to be off for both timings.
There's a very similar pitch, so it counts 2 balls and a strike. Coach Richardson just mentioned it. Some of the off speed here coming from the freshman from California. That's Munnerlyn. Woodard now in the driver's seat. 3 balls and 1 strike. So Woodard led off the 1st inning with the solo homer off of Kennedy. She drew a walk in the 2nd and scored on Roop's grand slam. Momentum swings back and forth in this one. And that's a leadoff walk for Liberty. Rachel Roop is coming up.
Just the patience. I love that. As we've mentioned it before, Liberty, they have been in this situation time after time after time. Finally in the driver's seat. A win this game would take them to a super regional. They've tasted this before. So how in this moment, after that chaotic fourth inning, Texas A&M scores 6 runs, gets all the momentum, gets all the energy. How do you respond? You get back and you go, can we just score 1?
Hard bouncer to third, over to second for 1, turn to first, double play. A&M infield is fired up with that pitch on the outside edge for a strike.
I'm Liberty. The amount of off speeds that I have seen thrown in for Motherland, I'm sitting off speed the entire at bat. I'm slowing down my timing. I'm starting later in her pitch, getting ready for that one.
There's a swing, high drive, but that's playable here for Enright in center. So Motherland does face the minimum. We're done with 4. A&M by 1. As we push deeper into this one, Paige Bachman, the senior from Virginia, starts her first full inning against 6, 7, and 8 in the Texas A&M order. This is KK DeMint. Homered her last time up against Escobar. That's in for a strike.
She was the one that got that inning going. I mean, you could tell from the moment that KK DeMint hit that ball, there was something going on within that Aggie dugout. There had been a shift. There had been a conversation.
A&M had runners on in the first 2 innings, and they were scoreless each time. Escobar was able to throw a 0 up on the board. Then she allowed 1 run in the third, and most of that damage in the 4th inning. Matter of fact, all of it. Just about every Aggie hitter has put the ball into play. A much better approach today against Bachman, or pardon me, Escobar, after pitcher of the year in the conference held A&M to just the 5 hits in that 8-5 Liberty win. So here we are pushing deeper into this one. High stakes regional final. Number 1 overall seed is in front for the first time today. DeMint fouls it back. So we'll have a payoff pitch coming again.
Texas A&M, they are fighting to keep their season alive. Paige Bachman, the number 2 for this Liberty pitching staff.
DeMint hits it hard through the left side. That's a base hit for the Aggies. So while we got a moment, let's remind you about tonight's Sunday night baseball matchup. Subway Series finale between Pete Alonso, Juan Soto, and the Mets, and Aaron Judge and the Yankees. First pitch at 7 Eastern on ESPN. ESPN Deportes and ESPN Radio. Coverage begins at 6 with baseball tonight. Sunday night countdown. Subway Series. The 2 rivals have split the first 2. Big one later. Here is a big blast off of Valley Enright's bat. Off the bottom of the fence. Late jump for DeMint. She had to let that one fall down. Enright gets into second. 2 hard hit balls off of Bachman.
Going into this game, these 2 hitters back-to-back, they have been causing most of A&M's damage. It's no surprise here. Back-to-back, continuing that momentum. Paige Bachman has a drop ball, and the biggest struggle that she has faced all season is getting it down in the zone. Whenever she leaves it elevated, that is what happens.
These Aggie hitters are dialed in right now at the plate. Vrajel takes a strike. She's 1 for 2 today, singled back in the second. Whole lot of momentum on the Aggie side. It's off the outside edge, so it's a favorable count here for Vrajel. Nicole, if this 1 seed A&M wants to get back to the Super Regionals. It's got to win 2 games today. Liberty, of course, has the upper hand. It beat the Aggies yesterday 8-5. And so it just needs 1 win to reach the program's first ever Super Regional. Infield is in. That 3-1 pitch is high. She walked her.
Rachel Train just walking over to Paige Bachman, having a word, resetting her. You can feel a little bit of tension, throwing a little tight. I think coach feels it as well. We're going to see a timeout here. It is suffocating in this stadium right now. Not only the offense, the bats, like you said, they are dialed in. They know what they are looking for. They have the scout and they're on it. Also this crowd, the way that they have been responding to their team, supporting their team. For a pitcher to come into this environment, it can feel a little overwhelming. The biggest thing is, how do you drown out that noise? How do you remove all those distractions? And I think it goes back to what we've seen from KK Madry, excuse me. What she has been able to do this year is put the pressure off of her. It's not about confidence, it's about being in the moment. In the moment, you have to throw 1 pitch and that's it. You're not having to worry about the runners on base. You're not having to worry about a home run. You're worried about this pitch. Can I get this drop ball to hit this location? Can I get her to miss hit it so I get something for my defense? Whenever pitchers get carried away, the moment gets a little big. It's whenever the thoughts start to run. So being able to stay in the moment, not just for Paige Bachman, but for Liberty. Don't go back to where you've been before, year after year. You're here, you're present. This is your season.
Bachman trying to find the zone here. That one misses low. It's a bit of a mental edge right now for the Aggies. Bases are loaded. Kelsey Mathis takes that pitch inside. And you got the left side of the diamond just shouting some words of encouragement here for Bachman. Fans are letting her have it. There's been a number of pitches that have missed out of the zone. That 3-0 is low. Trying to find the zone. That's there for a strike. Crane has come over on a number of occasions there from third base to just try to settle the veteran down. 3-1. That's ball 4. So A&M scores another run. Its lead is now 8-6. What do you do here if you're Liberty?
Honestly, I look to my bullpen. You look back last inning, and even with a pitcher like Escobar, who is your ace, undisputed, whenever things got carried away, I was expecting a change to happen. I was expecting something to happen before A&M ran away with it. Change didn't happen.
Back to the top of the order, it's Kennedy Powell.
At that 6-run 4th inning. Right now, it's just 1. If I am Dot in Liberty, I'm getting my arms warm, getting them ready to go.
Bachman has allowed all 4 batters that have faced her to reach. Now it's 5 in a row. 1 run comes home. Vrajel gets the wave and then slams on the brakes. RBI single for Powell. She's driven in a run now and back-to-back at-bats.
A&M dialed in. This is a drop ball on that outer half of the corner. Not a bad pitch from Bachman, but the way Powell is able to keep that backhand extended, keeps that barrel back for as long as possible and extends through. That's what allows her to hit that ball hard up the middle. Almost a little too hard, not able to score more than 1.
Coco Woolley Back to the circle. Bachman gets the out at the plate. That is the first out of the inning. But now here comes the heart of the order.
Coco Woolley has come up. She's made it first 3. This is the first time they've been able to retire. That tells you how dominant that she's been able to be.
Maya Perez is at the plate with the bases loaded. Texas A&M has scored 9 unanswered runs now the last 3 innings. 1 in the 3rd, 6 in the 4th to pull ahead. And they got 2 more here that are in. Bases are full. Just off the outside edge. You got some action in the Liberty bullpen now. That's in for a strike. Perez, the 2-run blast to straightaway center. This one tied the score back in the 4th before Mac Barbara put A&M ahead a few moments later with the solo shot. 2-1 is topped foul.
For Perez, she's been working so hard this tournament, facing a lot of up in the zone pitchers. She's just been missing a lot of pop-ups, a lot of fly balls. She was saying, I'm trying to get my swing to be level, get that barrel flat. Well, now she's facing a drop ball pitcher. She's going to have to get underneath with that barrel again.
Chopper to the right side. Woodard's throw. Safe is the call. It looked like the throw, while it was bounced, beat the runner, but the call is safe. Now, the catcher, Jessie, we had a clear look at it. She clearly had her foot on the plate. Does she have the ball cleanly here? Oh, it is just that the ball popping out ever so slightly. Is that going to cost him here?
To me, I think she maintains control. I think there is a play at the plate. That ball was out. But Dot Richardson, she used both of her reviews. She cannot ask for another review. I think she's asking right now the home plate umpire for some help. Get a look over at first base. But it is not until after the 6th inning that the umpires are allowed to invoke the review on their own. So right now, all they can do is get together, talk amongst each other, see if anything is different. But other than that, there is nothing that Liberty can do. And this is a huge, huge play. A play at the plate, getting your second out versus Texas A&M. They get their 2nd run of the inning, still have bases loaded.
Would take a run off the board. This is significant. The only thing they can do here, call is safe. The backbreaker here for Liberty, according to Mike Burrell, his interpretation is the catcher did not have it cleanly. While she's obviously snow coning it there. Boy, when you slow it down like that. Let me ask you this. Let me put it this way. If that one did go to a review, do you think they overturn that?
I would.
Yeah.
From what I saw, I would have overturned it.
It's an error, by the way, on Woodard, the second baseman. So the throwing error allows the runner to score 10-6. You got to think the reason why Burrell even signaled safe was his interpretation, or his viewpoint there was the ball was coming free from Jessie's mitt. Mac Barbara is now up. 10 unanswered for the Aggies. And that's right, you're right. It's just a tough break for Liberty, that's all. The Aggies are continuing to pour it on now. Base is still full. Barbara hammers it on a line to Roop. They might get the runner doubled up. And they do at first. Wow, McManus, a little toe tap there on the base. The double play retires the side, but A&M scores 3 more, reaching their first Women's College World Series in 8 years. The regional round is going to be a little tougher for Texas A&M. They lost to this Liberty team yesterday, so that means in this double elimination format, it's got to win 2 games today. And the Aggies, they're hot. They've scored 10 unanswered. Bottom of the 5th here, and it's the lefty Kate Munnerlyn who plunks Alyssa Henault to get the inning started.
But he's calling her back to home, saying that she leans into it. Let's watch the replay. I didn't see her lean into this one at all. Maybe a little bit.
Yeah, you see it there.
But to me, it looks like as she's standing, she's just turning away.
Is that a fair ball? Now the home plate umpire, Mike Burrell, puts his arms up. So that is a foul ball. So now the count's 2 balls and a strike. So this has been an interesting at-bat already for Alyssa Henault, who was hit back in the 2nd. Counts 3 balls and a strike.
Hit again, this at-bat, called back. A very close foul ball, to being fair.
3-1, that one drops in for a strike. Well, if you're Liberty, we're now in the late innings, and it has allowed 10 unanswered runs to A&M. 4, 5, and 6 at the plate. Getting one back here is critical. That's a base hit for Henault. So she ultimately does reach base. KK Madry is coming up. This has been a wild, back and forth, intense, exciting regional final game 1. Will we have a second game? If Texas A&M wins, it forces that game 7. And then it's win or go home for both teams. Madry trying to bunt her way on. She's safe. KK Madry on base for a 3rd time today. Walked, was hit, and now she's got a hit.
This one, Madry just angling her barrel, knowing she's going to get a pitch on that inside half, making the play happen. I'm not going to allow you to just continue to pound the zone inside. KK Madry said, I'm going to take this one with me, make Motherland make a play, especially as a lefty down that first base line. That is a very hard throw to make.
So now that is the first hit that Munnerlyn has allowed since she came out of the bullpen in the 2nd. She tossed 2 scoreless innings in the 3rd and 4th, faced the minimum in each inning. Here's Paige Dorr, scored a run in the 2nd with a base hit. And now time is called. Trisha Ford walking out to the circle. We have seen just incredible effort, determination. This has been a very competitive game. 2 teams that have got no back down in them.
I mean, we said this from the very beginning, before a single game was even played. Liberty, they're always a tough seed. To be a 2 seed at the #1 team in the country. Obviously, took that, had a little bit of chip on their shoulder. They knew that they were destined to be here.
This is what Paige Dorr did yesterday against the All-American Emily Kennedy. Took her deep, and it was a laser over the right field wall. What does she do here? That was a home run that put Liberty within striking range. They were down 5-3 going to that 6th inning, ultimately scored 5 runs to beat the top-seeded Aggies. Swing and a liner, runners freeze. There's 1 out. That win yesterday is why Liberty has the upper hand today. It's a double elimination format. Liberty won its first 2 games. A&M lost its second. And so it would have to hand Liberty back-to-back losses today to earn the right to go to the Supers. Rachel Crane, the veteran third baseman. She flew out to center in the third, walked and scored a run on that Rachel Roop grand slam in the second. So Munnerlyn keeps it on the outside edge. The count evens.
Munnerlyn is doing a fantastic job. We heard Dot Richardson talk about this last inning. That curveball off-speed combo, she tunnels them so well. That pitch right there. It is so easy as a hitter to get fooled, see that curveball, see the movement, and go, oh yeah. And then all of a sudden you're way out in front. You lose control of your timing. But I've really seen Liberty this inning zone in on that curveball. That's the pitch they're hunting.
Swing, it's a bouncer to second, flip to Woolley, turns to first, double play. That is the second double play this infield has turned. And so the Aggies eliminate the Liberty rally in the 5th. We're done with 5.
Double play for Liberty, double play for Texas A&M. They're back in the dugout looking for more.
Be the first of 2 today at the Bryan College Station Regional. If Liberty wins this game, it advances to its first ever Super Regional. Now, it would have to erase a deficit in the final couple innings. Meanwhile, Texas A&M, after getting sent to the elimination side of the bracket yesterday by these Flames, they've got to beat them twice today in order to get back to the Supers for a second straight season. Line drive off of Amari Harper's bat. That is snared by Woodard. And a much better start to the 6th inning for Paige Bachman in the circle after she allowed 3 runs in the top half of the 5th. With Nicole Mendez, 2-time national champ in Oklahoma. Kevin Fitzgerald with you. Liberty scored the first 6 runs in the first 2 innings. Texas A&M is dialed in of late at the plate. It scored 10 in the last 3 innings. A run in the 3rd, 6 in the 4th, and then 3 more in the top half of the 5th. This is KK Dement, who's yet to be retired today. So she's a triple shy of the cycle. She's got the homer, the double, and the base hit. That solo blast in the 4th just swung momentum back into A&M's direction. That was the big inning. 1-1 is up in the air. This is out to shallow right. So the first 2 have been retired in the 6th. Allie Enright hits next.
Looks like Bachman, she's been able to just collect her breath, reset. And also, look, there's a couple of hard hits by Liberty. The longer you're on offense, the longer your pitcher has time to reset. And I think that's what she needed, just to catch your breath, get back in here.
The first 5 hitters reached against her in that top half of the 5th inning, and you're right, she didn't look, she looked a little tight, looked a little shaken, but this is a senior who has been one of the better pitchers in Conference USA all season long. Top 6, top 10 in the league, I should say, in just about everything. ERA, innings pitched, all the important categories. Here's a 2-0 to Enright, who dented the right field wall her last time up. Blasted one off the wall, hit halfway up the fence.
Close as you can get. I bet you a teammate said weight room. I know it. I mean, that was top of the wall, as close without going over.
I thought that one was going. Ultimately winds up being a double for Enright, who's 2 for 3 today. She's now 6 for 10 at the plate in the series. She has really gotten going the last couple of games.
Seeing Bachman really just struggle to place that ball on that outer half away from Enright.
That's hit hard, but right to Watley, mishandled. So that's going to be the 4th error commit by Liberty. in a regional final where everything's on the line.
That one, good things happen whenever you hit the ball hard. This is a routine ground ball, but you look at the exit velo on that one, and you look at how hard that ball was hit. One little hop all of a sudden causes an error.
Frankie Vrajel takes a strike. You know, we saw Watley. We told you about how she suffered a concussion earlier this season. Had to wear a face mask at times in the field. She was wearing that at points in yesterday's game against Texas A&M. Has ultimately been without the mask today. This is her first couple of games back in more than 2 weeks.
It's not easy to do. Be in a season, be out of a season, be back in.
In such a tense spot as well. This one should retire the side in the 6th. So it's a scoreless inning for Bachman and the Flames. Liberty has got 6 outs to try to rally, or we're going to a Game 7. Loses. Its season is over. No 1 seed has ever been knocked out in the regional round since we went to this tournament format 20 years ago, 2005. Kate Munnerlyn back in the circle, and Liberty has 8-9-1 due up against the lefty. Savannah Jesse held the swing that time, so the count's 2 balls, no strikes. Texas A&M had its backs up against the wall first couple of innings in. And this determined, hungry, #1 overall seed that is fueled by last year's gut-wrenching losses in the Supers to Texas.
And that sits with you. You remember that game. A lot of those players that are on the field today for Texas A&M, they were on the field just a year ago. You let it sting, you let it motivate you, it brings you back here. Motivated them all season long. They have broken record time after time. It feels like every single game, Texas A&M has broken some kind of record. It's made them tough. We talked about their comeback wins. We talked about their experience with double headers.
3-2 here to Jesse. Jammed her, 1 out. Oh, the latest record they broke yesterday was the program single-season runs record after scoring 17 against Marist. It has been an explosive, very productive and effective offense all year long. Across the board, top 20 offense in the nation. So when they were held to just the 5 hits yesterday in that loss to Liberty, that raised a lot of eyebrows. This is Watley, 0 for 2 today.
I think also on the flip side, you have Liberty. They have been so close so many times. At one point, they were 1 out away from advancing, going to Supers for the first time in their program history.
Last year in Athens.
That sits with you.
And they were walked off on by the Bulldogs. And so now they must control all of these emotions. Yes, they had the 6-0 lead. It disappeared over the last couple of innings. 1-2 on the way to Watley, and that one's bounced.
Really love what Munnerlyn has been doing, just that backdoor curve, just placing it right on that corner, the adjustment that Liberty's made. She's responded very well. They've scooted up towards the plate. So they're right on that chalk line, as tight as it can be. They're daring her, hit me. But the way that she's responded, that bend in her backdoor curveball, starting at the leg, ending right on that corner, seeing a lot of takes.
Watley kicked her left foot up there. And so it looks like she did get hit. Anyway, the pitch was going to be ball 4 regardless. So they got a 1-out base runner now in the bottom half of the 6th.
See, just right on that crossover, it just skims the outer half of that leg as she's crossing over to go through with the slap. So it's kind of a catch-22. We just talked about it. That backdoor has great bend, great break, but whenever it doesn't, we've seen several hit by pitches or balls miss hard inside. That's what you're giving up. But as a hitter, you have to decide, all right, am I going to risk it, let it go by? Or if I see something coming at my leg, I know that's not where it's ending. It's ending on that inside corner, and I'm turning on it. And Savannah Woodard, she started off this game with a home run. She's been patient since 2 walks, but she loves that inside pitch. If I'm her, I'm hunting that one.
Munnerlyn, the freshman, misses with the 2-0, so now it's a 3-ball, no-strike count to Woodard, who has walked twice, including once against Munnerlyn back in the 4th. So this freshman has given Texas A&M very quality innings here. It's almost 4 shutout innings here for Munnerlyn. That's there for a strike. She came out of the bullpen in the 2nd when things were getting really out of hand for the Aggies. Liberty scored 5 in the 2nd. They've been shut out since. That's just high and away, so consecutive walks to start the 6th inning.
Looks like that patience paying off for the 2 lefties, but now we have a righty up to the plate. Rachel Roop. A home run back in the 2nd. That is when Liberty had something going. They had that momentum in those first 2 innings, especially in the 2nd. You could see them dialed in, locked into their plan. Feel like right now Liberty, their at-bats, the way their hitters are in the box, you can see them making those adjustments. I think Trisha Ford knows that as well. Just a quick timeout defensively to talk about situations. Texas A&M, they've been able to make some really great double plays so far today. And I think also the setups. They know where their pitcher's throwing. They know where their defense is going to be set up at. That has played really well for them.
As good as Munnerlyn has been, now she faces the most aggressive hitter in Liberty's order. Her grand slam back in the 2nd off of Emily Kennedy, the All-American, put the Flames in front 6-0 at that point. Since then, A&M has scored 10 in a row. If Liberty needed to respond, now is the time. Roop slashes it foul. Roop hit it hard her last time up against Munnerlyn, but grounded into a 5-4-3 double play. The Flames, they've got to do something today they've never done. Win on Sunday in a regional or beat a team twice. That's a little tight. Count evens.
It has been so close time and time again.
Roop waits on it, popped up. And there's 2 out. That is a big out for Munnerlyn. This freshman has now logged 4 scoreless innings. 1 more out gets the Aggies to the 7th, where they would be 3 outs away from forcing that game 7.
McManus, I'm wanting to hit something behind runners, hard, low in the ground. You know the angle that that pitch is going to be coming at, whether it's an inside curveball or a backdoor. Even her changeup has a bit of a curveball movement to it. Allow it to get deep, get into you.
McManus hits it hard. That's over Este's head. Off the fence. One run is coming home to score. And McManus gets the second. The tying run is coming to the plate for Liberty. How close was McManus? Watch this.
I mean, this one, McManus, she knows this curveball is coming. It's low, it's in, it's the same pitch that she just saw. But being able to stay in her legs, let that curveball get deep. She's not going to allow herself to reach too far out in front. Let it get deep, get something into her wheelhouse, and then she sends that. Talk about a response. Texas A&M, they went on that run back in the third. Like you said, 10 unanswered runs. Didn't score in the sixth. Liberty, they're right back in it. Scored one here, 3 away.
Just a high-level battle between two teams with strong cultures, veteran programs, champions, each of their respective conferences. What a clash. 2-0 now. That's on the outside corner. So Henault, this regional, after not starting any of the games in their Conference USA tournament, she's now 4 for 8 at the plate in 3 starts. Good eye that time.
Hard one to lay off of, too hard away. And then you have that changeup that almost looks like that backdoor. Already keeping their hands back, just being patient. You can tell they're locked in with the pitches that they're hunting.
Henault took the fastball in the outside corner. Payoff pitch coming with 2 outs. Woodard at third, McManus at second. Henault the tying run at the plate. Munnerlyn got her swinging, and the inning is over. Liberty gets one back, but Munnerlyn strands a pair in scoring position. And the Aggies are 3 outs away from forcing a winner-take-all Game 7. 2 here at Davis Diamond this afternoon and evening. Texas A&M, yeah, they're 3 outs away from forcing the winner-take-all finale here this regional. Liberty got a run in the bottom of the 6th. Paige Bachman back in the circle, trying to just keep this where it's at. Kelsey Mathis leads off. 9-1-2 due up for the Aggies. The resolve and the toughness that has been on display for Texas A&M. Very impressive since it lost 8-5 to these Flames yesterday. So Liberty, the 2 seed in this regional. They had the upper hand going into today's action. They'll get 2 shots at it to win 1 game and go to the program's first ever Super. A&M has got to win twice. The number 1 seed in the field is right now 3 outs away from forcing that Game 7. They fell behind 6-0 in the first couple of innings. Just a holy cow sort of moment after Liberty's win yesterday. Count goes full to Mathis. But then the Aggies rattled off 10 straight runs. They chased Escobar and did some damage against Bachman as well. 3-2 to the left side. Easy one for Crane, and there's 1 out.
Bachman has just settled in. You really see her finding her groove, finding her pace and rhythm. That's what you want right now if you're Liberty. I mean, they had the tying run up to the plate. Last inning. Can you maintain the score? Just continue to give yourself a chance. Paige Bachman, that's what she's doing right now in the circle. I mean, what a game. If you'd asked me in the 3rd, I would have said it looked like Liberty. If you'd asked me in the 5th, I would have said looks like A&M.
Just a whole lot, a bevy of momentum swings. That pitch is in for a strike to Kennedy Powell, who's got a couple of RBI singles today. She's 2 for 4. This has been quite a game, quite a battle.
Let's talk about the game. Kind of 3 games within a game. You have your first 2 innings. Those are the punch innings. You're kind of sparring with your partner, seeing who's going to punch first, who's going to land the first blow. Innings 3, 4, and 5, those are the working innings. Those are the grind. What can you do during those innings?
2 outs.
6 and 7, though. Anything can happen. Those are championship innings. That's where you see the biggest stars step up. You see those players who are gamers. When there's so much pressure on the line, they go, I live for this. I eat this for breakfast. Give me another.
Coco Woolley bounces that one to the left side. She can fly. That throw is wide. And so Woolley heads to second base. Liberty's got to get on this one quickly. Nobody's at the second base bag. So that's a hit and an error.
Savannah Woodard not covering that second base. There was an option there for a throw. We've seen Savannah Woolley, very uncharacteristic. Couple of errors so far this game. Clean defense that has come back to bite Liberty multiple times this game. But being able to keep this game in check, within reach, getting out of this inning. Right here, 2 outs, but a huge part of the lineup. That's what Liberty and Bachman, they were trying to avoid.
In a game in which Liberty, if it wins this game, they go to a super regional. They have committed 5 errors as a team. We had that controversial play at the plate in the bottom half of the 5th inning, pardon me, Nicole, the top half of the 5th inning. Looked like Liberty had retired the base runner at the plate. She was ruled safe. Now you've got Maya Perez. 2-run homer back in the 4th. Takes a strike on the inside corner. Liberty has never committed this many errors in a game at any point this season. It's a lot of errors on the biggest stage.
We're just talking about it. Those big-time players, that's what they're wanting. Give me the ball. I'm ready. I'm calm. I'm gonna make this play. There are a few innings where the game got a little big for them.
It's topped foul.
But Liberty, they can pull this off. They've already done it. That's why they're in this position. They beat Texas A&M yesterday. They played like a top 25 team. They are good. But whenever you have the offense of Texas A&M, whenever you have Maya Perez up here, up to play.
Look out.
Look out. Especially over that wall. She's sent a few over there.
Two coming to Perez. Thought about it. Checked that swing, and Bachman could not get her to chase it. Perez, the breakout star in the SEC this year. One of them. All-conference season. And after the homer today, up to 16 now on the year. Payoff coming. We'll do it again. If Texas A&M wins, we turn around, Nicole, about 30-40 minutes after this one goes final. And we play just a winner-take-all Game 7. Perez drills it into center, a base hit. So Texas A&M gets a little more insurance. Perez wins the battle, and in the process has just set A&M's single-season RBI record, 73.
Maya Perez, this one a little early, but she talked time and time again about getting her barrel on the ball early, getting it on plane. Even though she's early, because that barrel is on plane, she's able to make solid contact, extend that through, hard enough to get through the infield. Liberty once with a 6-0 lead. They're now down 11-7. A little flabbergasted maybe, but being able to reset, get control, and get back into the dugout.
Perez and Barber, who's up now, they have feasted against these Liberty pitchers today. A&M has got a pretty comfortable cushion here. They'll have to get those 3 outs in the bottom half of the 7th, but they're in a good spot. 0-2 is ripped but foul. So now you start looking ahead. Maybe I shouldn't, but I guess I will. Emily Kennedy only threw about 25-30 pitches. That's the All-American. She was lifted very quickly. Elena Escobar wound up throwing 55 before she was pulled.
Could see a total reset.
Yep. Runner on the go. This is the pinch runner, Golden. That throw is into center field and cleaned up by Madry there, the center fielder. So you got another insurance run in scoring position.
Some nice throw behind the plate by Jessie. See Watley just late on the jump to that one.
Very close, but off the outside corner. That one hits Barbara. So you got 2 on. Barbara and Jessie. Well, they were having some words here. The catcher, Mike Burrell, the home plate umpire, stepped in very quickly.
Very quickly. Barbara not happy with that hit. That one gets her on that back arm and on the stomach. Not happy about that one at all.
I take it back. It looked like Jessie didn't say much there, but Burrell just stepped in very quickly. So the umpires have gotten together here now.
Matt Barber, she had some words. It was more so at the situation than at Paige Bachman, but I think that's what this conversation is about. I think the conversation, did she intend to go towards Mac Barbara, or was she just going towards first base? Me, just looking at it, looked like she went straight towards first base.
I don't think there's anything terribly aggressive here Barbara winds up doing. Like you said, just a little frustrated.
Again, not happy about the hit. Kind of express some words, and then she went straight to first base. I think it looked a little bit worse than it actually was. But if anything, Rachel Kane trying to pump up her pitcher. You see Paige Bachman, she looked a little affected. You got 2 outs.
It's a painful moment for Barbara. 2 on, 2 away. And now you've got the very prolific Amari Harper at the plate. "3-2, lifted out to left. So the inning is over. Texas A&M gets an insurance run, and it's 3 outs away from forcing a winner-take-all Game 7. Program history. Liberty has never been to the Super Regionals. They're down 4, bottom of the 7th.
It's not impossible. They have made these plays before. They have scored these runs before.
So we got a little delay, by the way, to the start of the 7th, and did Mike Burrell, he is clearly just throwing a fan out.
This fan, he was right on top of the Liberty dugout.
You know, I noticed Dot Richardson, she called over, this was in the half-inning break, she called over a member of the security team and had a couple of words with the gentleman right next to her dugout. So now the emotions, if you didn't already have an awareness that the emotions have been high today, the heat is up now. Richardson had a little wave, did a little mocking wave to the gentleman who just got tossed. So Mike Burrell, the home plate umpire and stadium personnel, they pointed out the person who was sitting right on the dugout. You're right, Nicole, on that first base side. Well, let's get back to softball now. This is Kate Munnerlyn. One of the best outings of her freshman season, coming when the pressure and the stage is the biggest here. If she finishes this out, it would be 5 1/3 innings for Munnerlyn, of only allowing 1 run in those 5 1/3. If she gets to the finish line here, it would be the longest outing of the season for the freshman. When Texas A&M needed a pitcher to dial in and get to work. That's on the outside corner for a strike. KK Madry leads off for the Flames.
So Madry showed that bunt back, that first strike. On base with that same bunt, knowing that she's been attacking on the inside half. Munnerlyn, she started to work away from the lefties last inning. You saw away with the curveball, off speed, tight inside. That is where she's been getting Liberty, mixing them up with their speeds.
Madry into left, or pardon me, into right, a base hit for KK Madry. Now Liberty needs the rally of all rallies if it wants to finish the job here and not have to play another game.
We've seen it done before. We know it is possible. But you have to take it in the moment. That is what KK Madry does so well. She stays within the moment.
Madry is a threat to run, by the way. First pitch swinging, that's foul, back to the screen. Paige Dorr singled in a run back in the 2nd. She homered against this team yesterday. So she's knocked in 6 runs now in 3 games. It's been a productive tournament for the Coburg, Oregon native. Off speed, got her. Counts 0-2.
Munnerlyn has been keeping these hitters guessing. I love the change of zones, the change of location. But I think that off speed, that's been my favorite so far.
Goes back to it, misses away. Munnerlyn fires. Check swing into shallow right, and another one falls down. Madry stops at 2nd before Texas A&M finally recovers and gathers it. The first 2 have reached against Kate Munnerlyn.
This spot almost identical. You could see coming in hard from right field. Kelsey Mathis makes a great effort, but gets a little mixed up. I think KK Madry knew that she had a read on it. She was going to take a hard lead. Otherwise, we probably have a first and third situation. But it's just passing the back.
Rachel Crane, hitless today, walked earlier, takes a strike.
Last at bat just rolled into a double play. Right now, if anything, keeping the ball behind your runners, knowing your situation, knowing your pitcher. What a roller coaster this game has been. I mean, we've had the highs,
Yes,
we've
it
had the
has.
lows. I'm up here on the edge of my seat.
You and me both, partner. 1-1 check swing, that's foul. And so Crane has to protect with 2 strikes. Liberty led 6-0 after 2 innings. It threw a massive punch very early, only to see Texas A&M score 6 runs in the top half of the 4th, where they, for the first time, swung in front. Scored 3 more in the 5th, added 1 in the 7th. 4-run advantage. Tapper, left side. Powell gets the runner in third. Throw on to first. Crane is safe. Looks like she had just beat out the throw. Kennedy nearly the 5-3 double play.
And this is exactly what A&M was trying to get Crane to hit into. You have runners on first and second, no outs. As tight can be. I think Trisha Ford, she's going to call for a possible review on that one. This tight in the game, knowing how Liberty, they're scrappy, they don't fight, they don't give up. They've come from behind against A&M before. If you could get a double play here, that would be huge.
Texas A&M wants to challenge the call of safe at first base. That play will be under review.
Bang, bang play at first. Foot is down right now. Yeah, that's before the throw, or before it hits the mitt.
Foot's down, ball's still in the air. That's a great frame right there. Look at our camera crew. I mean, fantastic job. That's what this game is going to come down to. It's going to come down to the little things. It's going to come down to inches. Liberty, they're going to have to learn how to dig deep if they want to get out of this one.
How many of this?
Massive.
Yeah, how many of this type of play have we seen today?
Too many.
Both coaches have used their challenges. We had that very close, maybe controversial play at the plate back in the 4th inning that led to a Texas A&M run. And in that case, Liberty didn't have any challenges. They couldn't challenge that play. So here's the call.
Plate.
The call on the field will be upheld. That will be Texas A&M's second challenge.
Well, both coaches out of their challenges here. If you're A&M, you hope that doesn't matter. You're 2 outs away from forcing the game 7.
The umpires can still challenge.
Yes.
Starting at the 6th and 7th, the championship innings, when everything starts to go a little crazy, a little hectic in games like this, umpires, if they need assisting with their discretion, they can go and see a video review. They can use that as an aid. Only in those 6th and 7th innings, though.
Nicole,
the coaches are out.
And Nicole, for the first time this regional, we'll see the freshman Alexia Carrasquillo. She pinch hits for Savannah Jesse, who is 0 for 3. For Carrasquillo, only 43 at-bats this year. Good batting average in those opportunities. 4 homers in 21 games. Munnerlin misses low. The count's 2-0.
Right now, any base runner is good news for Liberty. You'll take it with a walk. You'll take it with a flare over second base. Get runners on. You need to move them around.
Carrasquillo drills one towards the gap, off the bottom of the fence. 1 run scores. Carrasquillo stops at first. And now all of a sudden, after the run comes home, Liberty is bringing what would represent the tying run to the plate in the bottom of the 7th.
I mean, this ball was absolutely shot. Carrasquillo, she knew what she was looking for, that curve ball, a little elevated on the inner half of the plate. She gets all of this one. A great play by Enright, getting that in quickly, not only preventing a second run from scoring, but also holding up Carrasquillo at first. Now we have runners on the corners instead of second and third. Big time defense by Enright for A&M, but talk about clutch. A pinch hit by a freshman in the bottom of the 7th, game on the line, and you come through.
She drilled that one. Now this is Aubrey Norris, the pinch run. Look, if you're Texas A&M, you start to look at it this way. Carrasquillo and the Liberty fans are loving it. This is Savannah Watley. Takes the first pitch on the outside edge. Texas A&M, you have to start looking at it from this vantage point. The base runners don't necessarily mean anything. Watley is the one you have to retire. She represents the tying run. Liberty down 3 in the 7th.
In this defense, you can see Watley, she's been running through, slapping almost. You can see defense, Coco Woolley shifted up the middle. Kennedy Powell, she's staying on the line, a couple steps up.
Swing and a foul tip, that's into the mid, strike 2.
And that's why that shift looks like that. In case the soft slap is in play, you'll see Kennedy Powell get anything in that area, but anything hard, a swing through from Watley, that's gonna be all Coco Woolley.
1-2 coming to the senior. It's up and away. A tense, compelling, dramatic 7th inning. Tying run at the plate for Liberty. There's a swing, a drive into center, a base hit. It's now 11-9. The tying run in Watley is on base. And now you flip it back to this very productive top of the order for the Flames.
I was thinking right before that pitch, you can see KK Madry almost overcome with emotion. She couldn't even look. But right before that pitch, I was thinking, man, the nerves, the moment. We talked about those athletes that want it. Watley had a couple of defensive miscues earlier this game. Being able to flush that, being present, being in the moment, that has been a big-time theme for the Liberty Flames. Dot Richardson, she says, keep your eyes on the ball like you keep your eyes on Jesus and everything will work out just fine. Liberty, they have been keeping their eyes on the ball so well. Right on the nose, Dr. Dot. She's loose. She's in the moment. She's dancing a little bit.
The Hall of Famers squad is rallying here in the bottom of the 7th. And it's the top of the order now. Savannah Woodard will face Kate Munnerlyn for the 3rd time today. Back in the opening frame, Woodard went yard to set the tone for this thrilling game. She is the potential winning run at the plate. 1 away in the bottom of the 7th. Munnerlyn, the freshman, Trisha Ford is sticking with her. 10th spot, 2 on, 1 away. If Liberty wins, they advance to the Supers. Woodard swings, slow chopper. Here comes the second baseman, DeMitt. They get Woodard at first. Both runners advance. Rachel Roop is coming up.
And I know there's still 2 runs away, but you have to think back to that 5th inning, that play at the plate where the runner at home for A&M was called safe on the force out. Makes such a huge difference between an 11-9 game and a 10-9 game. You have a squeeze.
Everybody is on their feet with Rachel Roop at the plate. This one gets away from Barbara, but the base runner at third That's Norris. She stayed put. Nicole, a base hit here from the Player of the Year in Conference USA could potentially tie things up. Here's a 1-0. Inside edge for a strike. Roop drilled the grand slam in the second. That put Liberty ahead 6-0 at the time. What will she do in crunch time? 1-1. That's slash foul. Everything hanging on this at-bat right here.
And your mindset? Breathe.
A&M trying to shut the door to force a game 7. Here's the 1-2. Count evens. Swing, liner, that's off of Munnerlyn's mitt. The shortstop can't make the play, and another run scores. A laser right back to the circle. It knocks Munnerlyn's mitt off. Woolley through to first. They almost got her. Roop is safe, and the tying run is at third.
This is what you live for, a shot. Look at Woolley coming in, effort. But Roop diving, I mean, she barely gets in by the skin of her teeth over at first. Trisha Ford out.
Look at this, the slide. Wow. If not for the slide, Woolley was all over that one. She almost got her. Nicole, the tying run is at third with 2 outs. Bryn McManus, number 3 hitter, is coming up. We said Liberty needed the rally of all rallies. They've scored 3 in this bottom of the 7th. First pitch to McManus is low.
McManus, her last at bat, let that curveball get deep, drove it out to the wall and left.
2-0.
Probably not going to get that same pitch again. If I'm her, I'm looking for something off speed. They want me to get out of my timing, out of my rhythm. Game on the line, I'm going to be anxious. Be set up for that slow.
Three and nothing, and the drama grows. Ball 4. Liberty has the winning run in scoring position. They went into this home 7th down 4. They've scored 3. Ford has gone out to the circle once before in this frame to talk to the freshman. She's sticking with her.
She's done a phenomenal job in the circle, just being able to hold down a very good offensive Liberty team. Kate Motherland.
Alyssa Hennel just got hit. It's a tie game. Liberty will not quit. And the winning run is sitting at third. A wild bottom of the 7th. And the Flames are this close from the most dramatic comeback win in program history. Trisha Ford is finally making a change. Have you ever seen something like this with the 1 seed with its back up against the wall in this elimination game?
Texas A&M, they are down to their very last out. Getting out of this inning, putting themselves back in the driver's seat offensively. They have been producing all game long, especially this second half of the game. So right now, defense with bases loaded, 2 outs, you have a lot of options. If you're in the outfield, you're set up for anything in the air. I want to make sure I catch. I'm going to be playing straight up. And a huge round of applause from the Aggie faithful for Kate Mutherland. A fantastic outing as a freshman here in a big-time regional. Defense, again, playing straight up, a lot of options. You can go to any bag, you just need one.
My goodness. At a minimum here, Liberty, even if they get the last out, it's forced extras. Can they get it done? It will be KK Madry to hit with the bases loaded against Sydney Lessentine. This is the freshman who pitched in the opening game for Texas A&M. 20th appearance of the season. She's logged more than 60 innings. She needs the biggest out of her life right now on this stage to force extras for Texas A&M. Folks, we have had the tournament structured this way for 20 years. And in 20 years, no #1 national seed has ever failed to advance out of the regional round. And Texas A&M hanging by a thread right now. Dot Richardson's Flames have scored 4 to tie the score. KK Madry, one of the leaders of this team. Yeah, Nicole, she's at the plate.
Scripted it any better.
She started this inning off with a single. First pitch is in the dirt. Rachel Roop is the runner at third that represents the winning run for Liberty, who is this close to going to its first ever Super Regional. That's at the letters.
And the looks that you're getting, KK Madry from Lessentine, it's going to be a different look. You're not going to get that curveball.
1-1 is foul back.
You're going to see balls up in the zone. Saw that strike call. You saw that foul ball. That is where most of the strikes are going to be at. Lessentine just trying to get her to chase, work up in the zone for KK Madry. Dial it in, get that barrel nice and flat.
The Flames have scored 4 runs in the bottom of the 7th. They've erased the deficit. Winning run at third. 2-2 to Madry. Outside ball 3. Count is full.
And that has consistently not been a strike all game long. That outside corner has been a tough one to spot for both sides. A full count, 2 outs, bases loaded, tie game.
All the drama right here. Payoff pitch, swing, that's foul, high in the air down the line.
This is the situation as a kid. You go bases loaded, 2 outs, bottom of the 7th, we're home team. I have a full count, and I hit the walk-off, or I get the strikeout. This is what you dream of.
In the air, that's out to left field. Eshte has it lined up. We are going to extras. Liberty scores 4, erases the deficit. To the 8th we go. And she's got the favorable 2-0 count. Stement and right. And Eshte due up. in this 7th. Madry makes the catch. One away.
Nice, solid shot by KK DeMint. She has been seeing the ball so well all game, but her last 2 at-bats, I mean, they just have gone right to a defender. But this, to me, this part of the lineup has been so solid.
Enright hits it hard, right to the new shortstop. High throw, that was Byram. And Enright's aboard. So that's the go-ahead run now. That's on for A&M. Jemiah Byram had just been substituted in at shortstop for Savannah Watley. Made a nice stop.
And I think this is why, because there have been multiple errors over at shortstop. The thought is we need somebody who's going to lock it down defensively. But as a freshman, that can feel overwhelming. Scratch it, flush it down the toilet.
That is the 6th error committed by Liberty today. So, boy, you just wonder if that number is cut in half. Where are we at right now in this game? 11 up in extras of a thrilling regional final. Kramer Eshte at the plate for the first time today. And gets ahead of Bachman. Liberty beat this #1 seed yesterday. Erased a 2-run deficit late in the game, scored 5 runs, ultimately won 8-5. So it's got the upper hand today. That was the stunner of the tournament. And then you fast forward to today, and these two are now playing into extras, all knotted up at 11. And with Liberty having the upper hand, if it wins this game, it advances, and A&M is out. That's ball 4. The Aggies, though, what do they have cooking here in the top half of the 8th inning?
We talked about A&M. If they could get out of the bottom of the 7th, their offense has been producing time after time, inning after inning.
This crowd is trying to psych out Bachman. She's throwing 4 straight pitches out of the zone. You can hear them chanting ball 5. This is what they do here. Kelsey Mathis without a hit today. 0 for 3 with a walk. That one walk was with the bases loaded against Bachman back in the 5th inning. So she will go head-to-head here with the right-hander for a 3rd time today.
Jesse walking out to Bachman, getting first pitch. What do you want to start off this at-bat with? How do we attack this girl?
That's at the knees for a strike.
I love it whenever catchers do that, especially when the crowd is going crazy. You walk up to your pitcher and go, what are you sure of? Because a pitcher that is confident in a pitch, that's the one you want her to throw.
Over to the left side, that's a base hit. Into left, Dorr is up with it, and the bases are full for the Aggies. An immediate response for Texas A&M after Liberty forced extras.
Even the banana is stressed. His peel is coming off. Just taking the top half off. This game is insane.
Absolutely thrilling, dramatic, tense, regional final. Casey Fagan is walking out to the circle now to try to settle Bachman down. She got the first batter to line out to center field. Enright then reached on the error. Eshte walked, and Mathis ripped the single.
Right now, Liberty, they're just trying to minimize the damage. Bases loaded, only 1 out. If you can get out unscathed, that is huge. Any base right now, a ground ball up the middle, double play. Here we go. A ground ball up the middle through the infield for A&M. They're up. They have the momentum back in their dugout. Have to think back. Liberty left bases loaded.
They had the winning run at third base. KK Madry at the plate.
but the effort to get there, to even be in that position. 4 runs in the 7th. I mean, this is postseason softball right here.
Kennedy Powell takes that for a strike. Just what a situation for both of these teams. A&M cannot take another loss. Liberty, the underdogs in a lot of ways, facing the 1 seed, tied things up, and now A&M has untied it. Powell is driven in 1. Here's a throw to the plate. Echte scores. 2-run single for Powell. A&M punches back.
This one over the middle of the plate. Didn't get out enough, especially with a hitter like Powell. She is so good with controlling her barrel. Her hands stay elevated inside the half of the ball. Snaps that wrist through, and a hard hit through the infield. Scores to Texas A&M. The fight that we have seen from them.
Coco Woolley takes a strike. This game has been bananas.
And I thought my banana pun was good.
Didn't mean to upstage you. Wild game. In all seriousness, this has been one of, if not the most thrilling game of this regional round, especially with the significance of the stakes that are involved. It is high stakes right now. Off the end of the bat, runner coming home, and Liberty gets the out at first. 2 gone, but Texas A&M is now back up by 3 runs.
And I love this decision by Coco Woolley. Taking it with her towards first, a soft slap. She knows that the defense, they're back a little bit. Savannah Woodard, she was playing a couple feet from the grass. That was a hard charge in, especially with runners on 2nd and 3rd. They see that ball on the ground, they're automatically going. She'll take the out at first if it gives her team another insurance run. Texas A&M, what a response. Nobody scores 4, they come back, and they score 3. And who else? Miss Maya Perez. She even changed her walk-up song today.
Oh, she's got the crowd going.
Get the crowd going.
The song and the at-bats today. She's driven in 3 runs, 2 for 5 at the plate. Liberty went up 6-0 after 2 innings. Only to see A&M swing back in front with a 6-run 4th. They added a few more runs, had an 11-7 lead going to the bottom of the 4th. Bottom of the 7th, pardon me. Liberty then scores 4. This massive rally had the winning run at 3rd base before KK Mandry was retired. So A&M ultimately pushed it to extras, and they've scored 3 times. Perez fouls that off of her foot. Powell knocked in a pair. Woolley with that slow roller to the right side brought in another run.
How tough are these athletes mentally? They're tough. They are locked in. She waved off her trainer. She said, I'm good. I'm locked in. I'm in my rhythm.
Ball 3, count goes full. Bachman trying to get this last out. Here's a payoff. Perez bounces it over the first base bag. That's fielded fair, and the inning comes to a close. The #1 seed in the field scores 3 in the top half. They'll try to do it again in the bottom of the 8th to force a Game 7. Or will the Flames stage another rally? They're going to have to do it in consecutive innings in order to keep this one alive or win it in the bottom of the 8th. Nicole, we start in a very similar spot to 1 inning ago. Paige Dorr. She hits second in the bottom of the 7th rather. Reached base, scored one of those runs. But this time around, she faces Sydney Lessentine, facing just her second batter. The freshman came out of the bullpen with the winning run at third base and retired KK Madry to end the frame. 0-1 pitch to Dorr. That one's back up the middle, bouncing, fielded by Woolley. Got her at first. Dorr has got her arms out. She doesn't like the call. Did Woolley beat her?
Coco Woolley not giving up on this one, the range, but look how quickly she transitions that ball out of the glove into her hands. I mean, this is bang, bang. To me, Doc Richardson, she's talking to the first base umpire right now, just having a conversation with him. That's Brett Higgins. Talking to him. At umpire's discretion, they can review. This is one where I might want to if I'm an umpire. I want to get this right.
Initiated challenge.
Yep.
The call at first base will be reviewed.
Based on that replay we saw, Nicole, I think they got her by a fraction. And this one is going to our replay center in Pittsburgh. Look at how close this is. There it is.
I mean, she catches it and then the footsteps on. That is bang, bang. Let's add this to the running tally that we have of plays that have been so tight all game long. But I think this is the right call. I think she's out.
The veteran Coco Woolley gets to that bouncing ball up the middle. Shows off her athleticism and also the laser, the right arm.
First base will be upheld.
One away.
Coco Woolley stepping up big time. Earlier in the year, I talked to her and I said, what was the biggest difference as a defense? We all know A&M offense, but what was the biggest difference as a defense that happened whenever Tricia Ford and her coaching staff came? And she said, attention to detail, the little things. That right there is such a little thing. You work on your transitions day in, day out at practice. How quickly can I get the ball out of the glove? When do I give up on a play? When do I take the right angle? All those little things accumulated together gets a huge first out for Texas A&M.
Rachel Crane waves at that one. So these Aggies, after falling behind 6-0 early on, after surrendering the Liberty rally in the bottom of the 7th, after losing to this team yesterday, 2 outs away from forcing the decisive Game 7.
Crowd wanting that one a little inside.
This crowd has been antsy now for several innings.
I have too.
What a thrilling game. Extra inning war. 2-1 out to right. That stays up for Mathis. And A&M's 1 out away. Now you start to sense it.
Just peeking ahead. If the score still stands after one more out, you're Liberty. You have to wipe this game. Take all the good, but you have to wipe this. And if you're Texas A&M, you have to come out hot.
First pitch to Savannah Jesse. It's a little tight.
How about the freshman for Texas A&M? Kate Motherland does an awesome job shutting it down. And Sid Lessentine.
Right back to Lessentine. Ball game over. Texas A&M forces a game 7. The #1 seed in the field. Half the job is done for the Aggies, and we will turn around and play the winner-take-all Game 7 to determine who will advance to the Super Regionals. The Aggies had to have it. Fell behind 6-0. Watched Liberty force extras with 4 runs in the bottom of the 7th. They get 3 in the 8th. Lessentine closes the door in a wild, dramatic, thrilling regional final game in Bryant College Station. Our Capital One rewarding performance. It's Kennedy Powell, the leadoff hitter for Texas A&M. 3 hits, drove in 4 runs. Kennedy.